Good afternoon, everybody. This is TJ Big Country Burkhart here with Eric Showtime Trimble.
Oh, I like that.
I'm coming up with everybody's names around here. You guys are going to have to start making me the person who taglines everybody's names.
Yeah, that's good.
Anyways, today we wanted to talk a little bit, since it is Veterans Day this weekend. We do have a Veterans Day weekend special going on. You can use coupon Veterans18 for 10% off site-wide. Plus, veterans and active service members get 20% off automatically, limited time.
What's going on now?
So
as soon as this ends, go to the website, get 10% off.
And so this is actually an extra 10% off of the standard 10% military discount.
Right.
A lot of people don't know that that's going on, but just so you know, we are here for our vets. We like to tout around here that we are an American-made product.
That's right.
All made in the United States, America. But anyways, so today we kind of wanted to start the show off by sharing some information about our gun oil. Since it is Veterans Day weekend, and we know a lot of veterans have their love of guns because they fought with them, we're actually giving away gun oil for this live feed. So anybody who comments, we will actually pick through the comments on who would win that gun oil. Comments, questions, as well as if you do have comments or questions, make sure that you write them down below so we can get to your questions and answer those for you. We know that sometimes we don't get to all of them, but we will get those answered as soon as we can. First on the list, gun oil. If you own a gun and you are looking at soon, deer season, gun season will be coming up. Some of us are already squirrel, rabbit, getting in that swing of things. You can actually use the gun oil to clean out your whole gun. It's going to allow you to keep the rust out of there. It's going to clean up a lot of dirty spots that's inside of there, and actually it lubes it up really nice. Like I've told you guys before, and when I was with Chris on here, we had spoken a little bit about how I've used it on my Smith & Wesson MP40. And love this stuff. Helped with a lot of reaction time and everything, as well as shotguns. You can use it in. Some people can even use it on their fishing poles and bows if they want to. Yeah. It works. It all works good. So there is a lot of echo in the feed, I guess, that you have somebody saying. So sorry about that. It might be I'm talking too loud. But anyways, so let's start off today. Gun oil. Questions, comments? We're going to pick some people at the end here. One of the things we've been working on, everybody knows that the first weekend of December, we have the PRI show coming up. And a little bit more about PRI.
It's the performance racing industry. It's a big trade show. Indianapolis, they do it every year. We just came from Apex, which is a huge show. This is kind of along the same lines. 1,100 exhibitors, over 3,000 booths are going to be there. So huge show. Let's see, Indiana Convention Center. Like I said, Indianapolis. It's December 6th through the 8th. So if you're around there, come to the show. It's always a good time.
Yeah, and I know last year we had like you were talking about it being like Apex. We've seen a lot of people that come out to that had builds that they were expecting to race in 2018. Some of those builds that they said would race, they didn't. So 2019 is a different year, and that is the showcase for everybody to be able to go out there and tell you what they got and what they're going to bring to the table next year.
We're excited because we're going to have, obviously, a 40-foot booth. We're going to have all of our products there, new products, which we'll get to in a second. We're also going to have some vehicles in the booth this year. So we're actually going to have two of them. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. Top one here, Fire Punk and the Mueller's Save the Racks S10 record holder truck. It'll be in our booth. We'll have people there to sign autographs. Also, Trey and his BMW is going to be there. So both of these vehicles will be in the booth. Swing by. You can check them out up close and personal. Yeah,
and also, like he was saying with the Save the Racks truck, LaVon Miller will be there to sign autographs as well. Wade Moody, who holds the record in the Top Thrill Dragster. He actually will be there too. His son will be there too because he does the junior dragster as well. We will actually have Michael Dover of the Memphis Street Outlaws that will be there as well. Possibly Cameron Lawrence as well.
Maybe.
And Derek Klein, who also has the Hot Shot Secret wrapped dragster. So
we'll have all these guys will be there signing what we call hero cards, which are these here. These real cool things. So you can get an autograph. This one's mine, but this is what people will be signing that you can get your hands on.
Yeah, so definitely check out the PRI show. It is in Indianapolis, correct?
Yep.
So you'll be able to go out there and check out some of the new things that are happening in the industry for next year. Also, some of you are probably wondering, what in the world is this contraption that is sitting beside us? Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time that everybody is going to kind of get a glimpse of this. This is the new Franz Filter T.O.R.K system. Some people are like, T.O.R.K what? Why in the world would you guys need anything like that? But we actually found out in the industry, as Chris has always brought up, that we are constantly trying to find things that help people. We're trying to solve problems for the common man that are out there. So one of the common things we have come across being in the racing industry, as well as even heavy duty sometimes and semi-drivers and stuff, is that their oil gets dirty and they're repaying for all this oil that's expensive. And they wanted to be able to put down their costs. So with this T.O.R.K converter, I don't want to say T.O.R.K converter, I about said T.O.R.K converter, but what this T.O.R.K is actually a huge refiner for your oil, to allow your oil to be put inside of here to be cleaned out. So I'll just do a little sample here of how this bad boy works. So what will happen is you will take this hose, as you can see, and we have extensions that we've actually come with that will actually go into where you fill your oil filler neck. You will actually attach these long attachments to it, we'll say. And there's different sizes because we know that all vehicles aren't the same. Yep. So you will actually attach all the hose to this. You will turn it on. You actually put a hose
right in the dipstick.
Yeah, right in the dipstick. So you're actually going to put an air hose into this side and be able to pump it out at about 10 psi or 100 psi. It's going to push it out. It's going to fill up this tank so that once the tank is filled up and you're all done with oil, you kind of shut it off. And then once it is all shut off, then you will move into our blue tube here. I don't know if you guys can see it over there, but our blue tube here will go back down into your oil fill neck. And you will actually be able to plug it in, and about 10 psi will pump from here, go through the Franz filter. If you guys don't remember, the Franz filter will cycle everything down to 2 microns. So your oil that might have been dirty if you're a race car driver and you're going down the track, and all of a sudden you have to dump it because of all the high pressure inside the oil, broke it down, you throw it away. Now this is going to eliminate that. This is going to cause a lot of people to be able just to put it right back into the truck after it's filtered through this. So we actually have how long it actually will take. And I don't know, do you have your paper there?
I got it. So one, it's draining, coming out into the tank. You can do about almost 11 quarts in 5 minutes. So it's pretty quick coming out. Once it starts to get filtered, get clean, and go back into the engine, it's going to take a little bit longer depending on capacity, but 45 minutes or so, you can get the 10 quarts back into the engine. And we have some reasons why we need to do it that way, but that's kind of your time frame.
Yeah, so and once it's in there, we do have some like oil field companies who are running regular pickup trucks throughout the industry who's constantly saying that they get sand and stuff inside their oil. And this will also eliminate that, because that cellulose media or even the synthetic media, it will pull out that sand and allow it to be cleaned oil, put it back in there. So if you're in the middle of a field work, doing something in the field, you'll be able to start it, work, and with an hour or whatnot, go ahead and dump it right back in there. So this is the brand new T.O.R.K equipment that we will be having at the PRI show, actually, that we will be showing all the racers and everything. So if you're at the PRI show, you'll get to see this. Actually, you'll be able to
taking pre-orders too.
Yeah, we're taking pre-orders. So if you find it interesting, you want to know how much it is, go ahead and give us a call, or even at the PRI show, go ahead and come by our booth.
The biggest reason why this came about is we've been in the motorsports industry for a couple of years now, and talking with a lot of the racers, it's weird because you got these trucks and cars that are going so fast, pulling so much power. They actually use cheap oil for the most part. And the reasons why they do a pass and they know so much pressure and that oil is cheap oil, it's going to shear and things like that. So they'll dump it and get rid of it and add fresh oil right back into the engine for the next pass. So a lot of people are frustrated about that. You got these really expensive engines, but cheap oil.
Yep.
So the idea is you can use high quality racing oil that's going to give you better performance, better results, and you can keep it clean and put it back into the engine so you don't have to dump that oil every time. So you can buy the good stuff, run a pass, filter it, keep it clean, put it right back in, and you don't have to buy the cheap oil.
Yeah, and see, a lot of that came up with not only with Levon and Fire Pump, but there were some of our racers with European cars who were having trouble where their standards for their oil are different than a lot of these other race trucks. So they were like, well, I spend like $52 a bottle on oil. I go down the track once and then I have to dump it and I have to buy new. So then it gets expensive for you. So that racks up a pretty big bill for you. So with coming out with this T.O.R.K, it will actually allow you to, even if you run our Adrenaline 2050 or you run any of our Adrenaline racing oil at all, and even though you're paying that initial cost for it, you're going to get a lot more passes out of it than just one, because you're going to be able to run it through here, filter it back down to 2 microns so that it's back down to being brand new oil, put it back in the vehicle, and be able to run down the track again.
And of course, that means protecting. Right. You don't have these larger particles in the oil that's going to cause problems throughout the whole system.
Right. And people don't understand that when there's already small tolerances inside of an engine to be able to race, to put particles inside of the engine that will cause a wear and tear, sooner or later that engine is going to come apart. And so, I mean, even some people are scared to put cheap oil inside of their race vehicles and do those passes because, I mean, not all the times is it built up to hold up to those tolerances. So it could oxidize quickly and then all of a sudden break down the engine really quick. But that is why we made the T.O.R.K system here. So like I said, PRI, it will be there. And once again, just want to let everybody know, if you are watching, questions, comments down below. We do have our gun oil that we will be giving away to some people since it is Veterans Weekend. We are giving an extra 10% away to veterans this weekend. If you can just let us know you are a veteran and actually show us that you are, and we will get you an extra 10% off of your initial orders on the web.
So everybody gets 10%.
Yeah.
And service members can get up to 20% off.
Yeah. So it definitely is something that you can take a hold of. And if you know any veterans, definitely think about getting on that gun oil, because I know that a lot of gun enthusiasts are loving that gun oil. And we got some small dealers that are picking it up. It's now, if I'm not mistaken, on Amazon and eBay correctly. So
on our website.
So it is picking up, and I know that our distribution department has decided that it is going off the shelves pretty quickly. So that's always good to hear. Also today, we kind of wanted to run through some of the tests that we have went through the past couple of years that many do not know about. And
well, we always talk about, this product will do this for your truck or your car, give you numbers behind it, increase fuel economy by X percentage. And we're going to dive into a couple tests that we've done in the past to explain how we got those numbers.
Yeah, and one of the big things I want to point out here is that there's a lot of mixed reviews out there on forums and stuff where people say, well, our product does this and our product does that, but they can't back it up.
Exactly.
That's where we come in, and we're saying we're going to go out and test it, and we're going to make sure it's taken care of. And a lot of this is third-party tested. So this isn't us in-house bringing it in here and testing it and saying, oh, well, that number's skewed, but we'll write this. That's not us.
No,
we're doing it third-party, and they're actually ones giving us all the information. So Eric will go ahead and show you.
Well, these are just a few examples. We got a lot more that we've done. Different tests. I mean, we can run through these. We got horsepower and torque increase, fuel economy, regen cycles, so a bunch of stuff here. But yeah, TJ and I, we're going to be talking about these two tests that we've done in particular, reducing regeneration cycles and fuel economy testing.
And see, those are some of the biggest ones, because ever since the kind of EPA came out and they're like, man, we need to have DPF filters and we need to have all these emission codes and everything so we're not sending all this toxin into the air, and which it's America. I mean, let us do what we want. Freedom, let it ring. But anyways, so yeah, we do want to kind of talk about those because it seems like we do have a lot of questions with those popping up the most. Is how much fuel economy can you guys give me? How well can you do on my regen cycles? Because there's some people that they regen twice, 3, 4 times, or more during a week.
Yeah,
and they're like, well, there's got to be something out there that can do it. And they've tried all these other products, and they're saying, well, how can your product be any different? So we kind of want to talk to you today a little bit about that. So the regen cycle test that we had done, that the third party test was
third party is actually. So we're from Ohio. That's where we're based out of. City of Columbus, our state capital. They're actually the ones that we went through to get this test done.
Yeah, and not only that, but because of that test, the Ohio Department of Transportation, ODOT, actually just started picking up our product and using it more because they realized that with the new emissions codes and stuff, it's getting bad. It's getting worse a lot of times. So with that fleet regeneration cycle test, it was done by the City of Columbus, where we had taken the Diesel Extreme and we had taken our everyday diesel treatment. Now, the Diesel Extreme, as many of you know, every 6 months, it's a high-dose cleaner that boosts cetane and adds lubricity, but it's really high in the cleaning detergents to be able to do that every 6 months, and that's it. Now, with the EDT is your everyday use, so you can put in 1 or 2 ounces depending on your tank size and get that same little bit of cleaner and then get more lubricity and cetane boost in it. So
now on this particular test for the regens, we tested 2 different vehicles, a 2008 Freightliner and a 2013 6.7 Power Stroke, the F550. And we I don't know if you guys probably can't see this close, but we got all of our test results here. TJ, you want to kind of run through those and explain how and what happened?
So the Freightliner test, let's go through that first. With the Freightliner test, the annual regens before Hot Shot Secret was 36 regens in 1 year.
Yeah.
Well, the labor expense was $2,800. The fuel expense was $504, and then their DEF fluid expense was $36. So these are all numbers that they had given us that we were going off of. So their annual expense was $3,420
For one truck.
For one truck. So just think, if you have a fleet of 100 trucks, you're paying out way more money than you need to.
That's 3 regens a month.
Yeah, that is, and
36 a year.
That is crazy to think. And some people are like, oh, that's not bad compared to what I do, but you have to understand.
Well, these are also manual regens.
Yeah.
So the trucks will do it occasionally themselves, but there comes a point when you got to do a manual regen, and that's where these numbers are factored into. So 36 times a year. So then they went ahead and they did the Diesel Extreme, and then they went ahead and did the EDT every time they filled up. So in the Freightliner, after using Hot Shot Secrets, their annual regens turned into 6. Say it again.
6. 6 again. I'm not. So 6 regens in a year after using Hot Shot Secret. That's huge. That's more than half.
So they went from going 3 regens a month to once every 2 months.
Correct. So not only that, but let's look at this. So their labor expense before Hot Shot Secret was $2,880. Their labor expense after using Hot Shot Secret, $480. That's a huge difference.
Yeah.
So not only did you get 2 regens or a regen every 2 months, but then all of a sudden your labor bill goes down almost by $2,400 that you're saving. But then their fuel expense, this is what really gets me. So their fuel expense before Hot Shot Secret was $504. It went down to $84 in that Freightliner for the year. So some people are like, well, that's crazy. And what they don't understand, some people don't understand that the vehicle sits constantly whenever they're out working, and it's constantly needing to regen like that. So then the DEF expense went down as well. It went from $36 a year to $6. So, and then they paid Hot Shot Secret. So they bought the Hot Shot Secret. So $210 right there. That's all they had to pay on Hot Shot
treat
Secret.
one truck for 1 year.
Treat one truck for 1
And
year.
that's a Freightliner, so big fuel tanks.
Yeah, so it's not we're not talking about a 38-gallon fuel tank. We're talking to maybe 150 each side tanks. So
fuel tanks,
then all of a sudden you go from an annual expense as a Freightliner test for the city of Columbus. You were spending $3,420. Now, with even buying the Hot Shot Secret, but saving on the fuel expense and everything, your expenses were $780. That was the city of Columbus.
One truck. So
one truck.
I don't know how many trucks they got, but I know it's probably over 50.
Yeah. And you're talking. I mean, you're saving more than that's
thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah. So, in my mind, it triggers. Well, I mean, if they can do it, my truck should be able to do it. And if I can save that much money, I'm willing to do it because. Why would you? We're constantly looking as a society to save money here and there.
Oh yeah.
So this is one of those things.
Especially now.
It's
Christmas.
Yeah, and see that's one thing that I love about our dealer program is because like Walmsley Performance, Jeremy Walmsley down there in Cuero, Texas, he constantly tells me of how he'll call in and say that my 3500 normally regens this much, but he said then we started using Hot Shot Secret, and he goes, I'm driving forever before it's regenning. And he goes, it's awesome. I can't explain how awesome it is to see that happen.
Well, for some people out there, you might not have a Freightliner, but we like we said, we got a test on a F550 6.7 Power Stroke. Let's dive into those numbers.
So here you go, Power Stroke. We're talking about your regular truck that's out there, 38-gallon tank, maybe 38-gallon tank, close to 40. So before Hot Shot Secret, annual regen was 36 regens a year. Again, it was constantly running. Their labor expense on the Power Stroke was $1,440. Their fuel expense was $360. Their DEF expense was $30. So their annual expense was $1,830 before Hot Shot Secret was added to that fleet or to that one truck.
One truck.
To one truck.
Yeah, one truck.
And sometimes. Yeah, like you were saying earlier, that is a huge deal if you start thinking about all the money savings. So let's show this where it says after Hot Shot Secret, and as you guys can kind of see, we have a great person here who is helping us put this up in front of your face, so you can kind of look at it. Yeah, so you can kind of look at it. And you're just hearing my voice, so I could be sticking my tongue out at you, and you wouldn't know. But anyways, after Hot Shot Secret. The annual regen went down to 6, just like the Freightliner. So with that going down to 6, you are starting to see again that over 50% it has went down, and that's one truck again.
Yeah.
So then the labor expense, no big surprise here, it went down as well. It went from $1,440 all the way down to $240. So. Then their fuel expense went from $360 to $60 for the year, and $300 in a year. If I can keep $300, that's great. That's great. So DEF fluid, the expense annually before Hot Shot Secret $30. We got it down to $4 in a year. But then they paid $135 for Hot Shot Secret with it being a Power Stroke, a regular truck out there. But still, before Hot Shot Secret, it was $1,830. But with paying for Hot Shot Secret and everything, it was $439. That is a savings that, hey, man, you could give your kids a Christmas bonus, or you can give your workers a Christmas bonus to be able to spend on their kids with some of the money you're saving and everything. So that is one of the tests that we actually ran with.
Well, TJ, before we go any further, let's kind of talk about why this was possible. Why can these two products cut regen cycles so much? I know the biggest reason, looking at just the cetane improvers in our products compared to a lot of others on the shelf, you're going to bump cetane 4 to 7 points. That fuel is burned so much more efficiently, and you're not leaving as much left behind, so to speak. Bigger combustion, better burning of the fuel, and that's part of the reason why these regens go down.
Yeah, and people don't. I don't know if not everybody understands why they need cetane, and that brings up a good point. With the cetane, it does boost the fuel to be able to burn better. A lot of times, people will won't give you cetane, but they'll give you lubricity just because they know since ultra low sulfur and everything, and they'll say, well, that will be good enough. When in reality, you may lubricate things, but you're not boosting the cetane to allow it to fire at a better rate to be able to burn it off. So then all of a sudden you get old fuel or old oil that's kind of that, or really the old fuel will start to cake on the injectors on a lot of these trucks, and then you have a whole nother world of problems, and you're looking at possibly redoing injectors, or your spray patterns all messed up. So
or getting IDIDs.
Yeah, getting IDIDs, and if people don't know what they are, if you know diesel fuel, sooner or later it will turn into asphaltenes as well, where it will clog inside of your injectors, and it will wreak havoc all over the inside of your.
Then we're
your
talking big
system.
money, repair bills.
Yeah, you're not. That's not something you want to have happening inside of your vehicle. So when you can save annually on regens like that's huge, and it's all made possible by just our fleets and dealers, and a lot of times it's fleets that they aren't even really customers of ours yet. They just want to be like, hey, let me test it before we go out and we buy a whole bunch of this, and that was the way it was with.
Well, we just had it was a dealer of ours up towards Canton, Ohio, Ziegler Performance, shout out. His father has a semi, owner operator maybe, and his son sells the products, but he's never used it. Go figure. So he came. We set up a time for him to come to our building. We're doing some testing with him as we speak. I believe Diesel Extreme and EDT. He's doing fuel economy testing and maybe some compression tests as well. So yeah, we get folks a lot of times, like you said, just from people we know, dealers, fleets that maybe they don't have the product yet, but they want to be involved in testing and see how it can help them directly, so they can see firsthand the results.
Yeah, and see, we get, and you know from experience that we get calls every single day of the regular truck driver who's out on the road, and he's saying, hey, I'm gonna throw this stiction eliminator in here, I'm gonna throw this diesel extreme in here in the EDT, what's it gonna do for me? And then you tell them, of course on the phone you kind of know they're hesitant, they're like, oh no, this is what people call snake oil, and one of the things that we always try to tell everybody is we're definitely not, this is a whole nother ballgame whenever you walk into our building. It's not, it has come down to, there's a full staff that is constantly in that laboratory that's running through tests and stuff that it is amazing. We're not just trying to be like everybody else and do what's meet minimum requirements. It's definitely taken off to try to do better, and that's why we come out with the T.O.R.K unit, so we can help more people as well. And so, I mean, we get these calls, and then these guys call back in, and they're like, man, my DT466, all of a sudden I'm getting 1.5 miles to gallon extra, and they're like, and to me, who just drives a little vehicle, I'm thinking, oh, mile and a half, that's not very big. But to some of these big boys, they're like, man, that is a huge gain for me. It's saving me fuel and saving me money. So definitely something that helps a lot of people out who have those big freight liners and stuff out there.
What do you got to lose? Because we have a money back guarantee.
Yeah, and
so what do you have to lose?
And that's one of the things that many people will ask about too, is we are an American-made product. So everything that is made, it is straight here in little old Mount Gilead, Ohio, in the middle of a cornfield, literally. I mean,
if you could see out our windows right now, you would see.
We are in the middle of a cornfield, and we are making product because we're American-made and we love America. So we're going to constantly help out American people and do greater things with their vehicles and save money. So with that, we do have that money back guarantee. So if you are paying for the product, and that doesn't matter if you get it from one of our dealers or if you get it from one of our retail people, even if you just come in and buy it from here, or get it online or call in and get it. If there comes a point where you try it out and, hey, listen, it was worse off than what we thought it was. It was more than what we couldn't fix it. We're going to give you your money back. No questions asked. I'm not going to sit there. And some people call in, they'll be like, oh, you don't want to follow through with your guarantee. And it's like, no, I want to make sure that your vehicle's taken care of.
Yeah.
So sometimes it does need a second dose of Diesel Extreme. It does need a second dose of Stick Show in there. It just depends.
Well, sometimes we'll send out another bottle for them to try, Diesel Extreme, Stick Show, whatever it may be.
Right.
And like you said, maybe they're just so far off, it doesn't work. So no problem. You got a free bottle to try. It still didn't work. We'll still give you your money back.
Yeah, and see that's kind of an added value to our customers that they don't understand, is that that extra bottle, we just gave you your money back pretty much
Yeah.
by letting you try it again. But then we're going to pay you on top of it if it doesn't work. So then you pretty much made double off of the one sale we made. But that's why we're doing it, is we want to help the customers out to do better. So once again, if you got questions, comments, put them down below. I know some people were saying there was an echo, and I've seen that T.O.R.K said that is good oil. We definitely thank you for that. Once again, questions and comments. We will, at the end of the show, be deciding who wins some free gun oil. For
give it away for free. You don't got to pay a dime.
Free Veterans Day weekend. We do have Veterans Day special going on, 10% off the website. But if you also have your paperwork and can get it to us, we will get you another 10% off. So you could save 20% on our website this weekend. So always a great thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's jump back into another test that we have lined up to talk about. We actually just kind of talked about a little bit fuel economy. That's the next big one here. So previous tests, like you said, we tested with the state or the city of Columbus. This test we went through the Ohio State University. So still
the Ohio State University.
We're Ohioans, so it's habit. So we got those stuff here. Maybe we can get them pulled up on the screen there. But these are, you see test results.
Yeah. So let's talk about the vehicles that we tested. So this vehicle is a 6.7 Cummins, and we're looking at a Class 3 FedEx delivery truck, and it had 247,000 miles. And immediately, a lot of people are like, "Oh my goodness, that person with that many miles on it, they're really going to test."
Well, it's either one way or another. The guy driving a little Chevy Cavalier, they're like, "Oh, that is a lot of miles."
Okay, now you're picking on me because it's driving Cavalier.
Right. But someone driving a Freightliner, they're going to say, "Oh, that's nothing."
Right.
So depends how you look at it. But anyway.
But anyways, I mean, there's more than enough dealers out there will tell you that drive Freightliner trucks and everything that will go through, or even DT 466 or CATs. They will tell you that our product has done numbers on the fuel economy. But so let's get back into this. So the parameters of two tests: the steady state 55 miles per hour, which is test highway driving, because a lot of times it's 55 for big rig trucks that are going down the highway. They don't want you doing.
Well, plus we wanted to be fair because we didn't want to show results for highway driving. We said, well, I'm always city driving. So we know there's going to be difference. So that's why we did two tests. We did, like TJ said, the highway test, and then the EPA's heavy-duty urban dynamometer driving schedule. It's a long word. It's driving test, or city driving. So that's, frequent stops and goes. So those are the two tests that we ran. Stiction Eliminator for your oil and Diesel Extreme in the fuel. Those are the products that we tested on this FedEx box truck.
Well, and see, I want to kind of back up there. And the reason we, kind of like Eric was saying, the reason we did those two tests, because you always see whenever you get a new vehicle, the highway miles and the city miles. And then you kind of look at the average miles per gallon you get. So we kind of wanted to do that. We wanted to see city driving to highway driving and then kind of compare on average how much you're getting. So the results of that actual test was the Diesel Extreme raised fuel economy by 5.1%. That's a huge deal in a big old 6.7.
Yeah, I mean, that's a box truck too, so it's not like sleek curves. It's not very aerodynamic.
Right.
So big difference.
Yeah, anytime the wind hits you, you're going to feel it whenever you're moving down the highway in a box truck. So with the Diesel Extreme raised fuel economy by 5.1%.
Now let's clarify.
I was going to say, let's dive into that because
that's this one here, highway driving, major city.
So you're looking at your highway driving. So number of tests, they did 4 baseline tests. So you went about, it shows it's going about, the total hydrocarbons was about 0.10.
You got the other one?
Nope, don't have the other one. Or actually I do, sorry about that. So with the fuel, let's go to fuel, sorry.
Yeah, Diesel Extreme.
So the 55 mile per hour test, the Diesel Extreme and the FedEx box truck, 6.7 Cummins. So we did 3 tests actually on the baseline. So the total hydrocarbons per mile was 0.105. And
well, that's something we didn't even mention. The numbers TJ was about to read off is all the emissions. So we cut emissions down, but that's a lot of numbers. That's might not mean much to some people. So really the fuel economy is the big number that we're going to be looking at.
Yeah. So and sometimes I like to go through that how much emissions we did lower because some people do care about whether or not they're going to lower the emissions, and we know there are eco-friendly people out there, and nothing against you, we love you too. But anyways, so with that, you're looking at the diesel extreme. The mileage with the baseline was 23.65 miles per gallon that they were getting on those baseline tests. So then with the diesel extreme, we ran another three baseline tests, and with that, we actually got the mileage up to 24.86 miles per gallon.
That's over 1 mile to the gallon.
Yeah, that's over
huge.
1 mile to the gallon. So, and that's where we got the 5.1%. So you're looking at the total fuel economy increase of 5.1%.
Yeah.
And with doing that, like Eric's showing you the little FedEx truck, or Levi can pull it up here. That's a little off to the side there. You can see it. It is a box truck. It is not your average 6'7", 3,500 pounds. Or
so 5% increase in fuel economy. If for the folks out there that's curious about the emissions, your carbon monoxide was station.
Numbers by just adding the diesel extreme. So then let's Levi's kind of going around the FedEx truck, so everybody can kind of see it. But so let's kind of go over to adding the stiction eliminator.
Well, let's be fair. So that was the highway, 5%.
That was a highway. So sorry, that was a highway.
So
let's
talk
go
about
city.
Yeah.
So city driving. I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry. I guess I was getting kind of excited about how awesome our products are. But anyways, whenever we went to the city driving test, you start looking at the miles per gallon at first. With the three baseline was 14.25 miles per gallon. So okay, you're still pretty bad for city. But then with the diesel extreme, we ran another three baseline tests, and or three tests with the diesel extreme, and we got up to 14.55%. Okay, some people are like, but actually that is a huge difference if you're thinking about driving and stopping.
If you extrapolate that across an entire tank of fuel, that's a lot. Yeah,
most definitely is. And so with that average, you're looking at a fuel economy increase of 2.1%, and that is big for in city. That a lot of people.
And we're talking about a big truck.
Yeah. Once again, we're talking about
a 6'7" Cummins.
Yeah, it's a box truck that Levi has shown you. It's crazy because winds hit it. I mean, there's nothing really. The obstacles all around it kind of dictate to it how well it does. But stopping and going inside the city, 2.1% miles a gallon, gaining the fuel economy, and then on the highway, 5.1%. So now we'll get into the oil side of things on that same 6.7 Cummins, and we're looking at this. We'll look at the highway driving again, 55 miles per hour again. We didn't have the stiction eliminator in at first. We did 4 baseline tests. You're looking at 23.92 miles per gallon. Now, not too bad. Not too bad at all. So then we went ahead and did 4 tests again, but we added stiction eliminator to 6.7 Cummins.
Oh, you're going right there.
So actually, 64 ounces of stiction eliminator was added to the 6.7 Cummins. So when people say, well, this was only for Ford, nope, you're wrong. It was 6.7 Cummins that this was tested in for the FedEx truck that we ran at the Ohio State University. I have my Notre Dame shirt on underneath this, but anyways, so whenever you look at that, you're like, that's not too bad. So with the stiction eliminator, we actually increased the fuel mileage on the highway. We did another 4 tests, and it was 24.78 miles per gallon. That's
almost another mile to the gallon.
Yeah, you're looking at almost a mile to the gallon.
And
So
keep in mind, we're talking about an oil additive.
yeah,
You don't expect fuel economy gains from an oil additive in most cases.
yeah. Well, and see, a lot lot of people will call in and ask, how does that help? Well, what you don't understand is there's a lot of moving pieces inside of your engine that the oil is going around that sooner or later as the stiction builds up, which is it's wintertime and stiction is horrible. So if you need stiction eliminator, I know you can get it online as well.
10% off.
10% off. Call in. We can actually get it as well.
Yep.
If you call in, we got some local dealers, some retail that carry the stiction eliminator as well. Any vehicle needs stiction eliminator, to be honest with you, to start off, and especially going in the colder months because the oil will start to gunk up inside of your engine. So with that, the fuel economy increased 3.6% with being the 55 mile per hour highway driving. So then whenever we get into the city, you would think, okay, well, already the oil additive did pretty good on the highway, so it might not do too well in the city. But ran the 4 baseline test again, 14.18 miles per gallon with the baseline. We ran it again with the stiction eliminator in there 4 times, and then we got up to 14.49. So a total savings or a fuel economy increase of 2.2% that we moved it up on that needle. So that is really big. And as you can see again, Levi has pulled it up for you. He's awesome today.
And think about it. If a lot of our owner operators and folks out there, they'll get into some city driving, but it's mostly highway.
Right.
So if you go on this is nuts. If you go on the highway test 50 miles an hour, 55 miles an hour with diesel extreme and stiction eliminator, that's a fuel economy increase of 8.7%.
Yeah.
It was 8.7% increase in fuel economy by adding these 2 products. That we're talking a bunch of money when you're driving hundreds and hundreds of miles.
And see that, and that's what some people don't understand. And whenever we give our own experience, they're like, "Oh, you tell everybody that because you work here." But when I first started working here, I was just as much skeptic as probably a lot of people out there. And it was like, if I'm going to believe in this product, I need to try it. So I used to the FR3. And when I tell people that I was filling up at 300 miles, and every time in my little Cavalier, filling up at 300 miles every time, and then all of a sudden I had the FR3 and the stiction eliminator, and now you're bumping me up to 350, almost 400 miles before I have to refill again. Like people are like, "Oh, well, that's an oil additive. How it's doing that?" But it freed up a lot of that. In that little Cavalier, it's got 189,000 miles now, and that thing runs better than probably a lot of vehicles on the road. And honestly, it's because of our products. But I mean, once again,
so we can run through the numbers all we want. Honestly, the best thing we can tell you is to try it for yourself. You got nothing to lose. Give it a shot.
Yeah, like Eric said, we both said earlier, it's 100% money back guarantee. And if you're a veteran this weekend, you can double up and get 20% off on all of our products. If you can just let us know that you are a veteran and show us that you are, because I mean, if at that rate we'd have anybody calling it.
I read this comment from Brian.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is probably the best comment I've seen yet. Go ahead, read that.
So Brian, he says this. He says, I haven't tried the gun oil on my guns yet, but did try it out to lubricate the keys on my saxophone. Worked great. Plays smooth. Okay. No, and I say this, and it's, you chuckle, but like, and Mike, who was watching, when we first started testing out this gun oil, and then all of a sudden the Fitzgeralds got a hold of it. Then the Fitzgeralds are also woodworkers, and they were like, "Holy smokes, this is the best lubricant for our woodworking and everything." And they're like, "Are you coming out with a wood lubricant?" And we're like, "Let's focus on gun oil."
Take it slow for a second.
So it's like when we see people trying it new things, it is awesome.
And we do it around here. We have, I mean, we got. I don't know what you're thinking, but I'm thinking about the office chairs we have around here. We get some squeaky office chairs. We'll pull it in the back. I swear. Yeah.
And people are like, "Man, you're crazy." But the old days of people were like, "Oh, you need WD-40." I'm like, "Give me some FR3 or give me some gun oil. I'll be more than happy to put it in there and use it." And it's really good. So that is great that Brian said that.
Yeah, I love that.
That is awesome. And if you have other things that you've tried our products in and it has worked wonders, I mean, Chris has constantly told you he's using it in his Kubota tractors. He's used in
Tom's chiming in again.
He says, "What else can we use the gun oil on besides guns and saxophones and office chairs?" Oh man,
Well,
Tom.
I mean, we could probably go on and on of thinking of stuff we could use.
I know I've used it on my door hinges and
Door hinges, yeah.
on my vehicles, to help lubricate those. I know that.
I used it on a hood latch.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've used it on my hood
Mhm.
latch. Well, even my latch inside of my trunk, I've used it on.
Oh yeah.
So because it was constantly, so
Yep.
it doesn't do that anymore, which that was kind of weird. But I mean, you could literally use our gun oil in a lot of applications that people don't even realize. But I'm trying to make sure we have enough time here. I don't want to overrun or anything today, but
Try it for yourself. I mean, honestly, you got
Yeah.
some squeaky things around. Give it a try. Get 10% off this weekend. Pick up a bottle. Go play with it. Record it. Send it to us. Maybe we'll post it online.
actually, that should be a challenge. We should.
Who can do the best?
Who can have the best commercial made with our
Yeah.
lubricant to show us how well it worked? And
Think outside the box.
yeah, think outside the box, because I mean, like I've already told you, it's on
The
my fishing
saxophone,
poles.
that's a hard one to top.
It's on my fishing poles. It's on my bows. It's in my guns. I mean, it's in my hinges of my car.
Yep.
It is. I mean, it's in almost all the chairs around here that are squeaky.
Yep.
I mean, there's
Assembly line that we
the
use the
assembly
bottle.
on. We use the bottle a lot. We're using it in. It's. I almost want to say it's a.
You know, it'd be
marijuana
fun.
bottle, but-
It'd be fun. I was just thinking, right behind the camera, on the other side of the room, we got an air hockey table. I'm thinking, instead of turning the air hockey table on, leave it off, and we just dump some FR3, coat the surface, and play it that way. That might be good, right? That might be fun.
That would not
Maybe
be
at
fun.
the
Somebody's
Christmas
getting hurt.
party.
Yeah, no, somebody's gonna get hurt.
Slip and slide.
No,
Slip and slide.
Oh,
No,
my
don't do
goodness.
that. Don't do that.
Oh, Brent Hillard said squeaky hinges. Yep, definitely. BMW turnover ball that stays on the truck 24/7. Yeah, I mean you can use this for
Yeah.
stuff for a lot of things that I mean it's crazy. But I mean it is like a little do everything bottle that now that it even got the little needle on it that it helps even more. But
Yep. Easy
Yeah.
applicator.
definitely let us know about those things. Once again, if you do have any comments or questions, I know that we're getting towards the end of our time. We will answer your questions. If we do not get to them on this live stream and you're watching after it's over and done with, we will get to them. We'll make sure we take care of you.
Just a reminder to everybody, be safe this weekend, of course. Veterans Day weekend. Take advantage of our special online right now. It's running as we speak through Monday. So as soon as we end this here, jump over to the website, pick up some product, save some money. Coupon code VETERANS18.
Yep.
Again, VETERANS18. You'll put that in when you check out. You get 10% off. And again, veterans and active service members, they always get 10% off. But use the coupon code, you can get an additional 10%, so 20% off this weekend.
Yeah, and so I do want to kind of end this by saying thank you to our veterans out there, people that are active and who are that are currently fighting for our freedom. We truly do appreciate to live in a land that is so free and to be able to wake up in the morning and
Absolutely.
and I mean everybody's got their own opinions, but it's because of the veterans that we have the right to voice those opinions. But we want to thank every single one of them, from all of our dealers who are ex-military, Broad Solutions. I mean, there's more. There's so many out there that are. I know the Power Stroke Ingenuities, Dorian, them that they're also veterans. So I mean, they're all over. But we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts here at Lubrication Specialties, because without you guys, we wouldn't be here.
This,
We
no.
wouldn't be here at all. So thank you. God bless America. And that's the way we're going to end our show today. Just thank all the
thanks,
veterans
everybody.
and stuff, and take advantage of that. The Veteran Day weekend.
Veterans 18. Veterans
18.
18 is a coupon code. Go online, save some money now
Yep.
through Monday.
So thank you,
That's what we
everybody
got.
who tuned in.
See you next week.
We will see you next week. Big Country out.